Jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. This is definitely going in the video.
Jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Assalamoalaikum, greetings and peace. My name is Hafsa and this is your October Youth Circle, where we're going to talk about friendships and peer pressure in school. So, starting off with you guys, as school started, we're kind of getting into gear. So when it comes to friendships going into school, do you guys feel that there's a difference?
I'm not in school anymore.
Is it hard for you to make friends?
No, not really.
No?
Not at work, at least, because everyone's like same thing. They're doing the same thing.
And then outside of work?
I go home. I don't know. What if it's a Tuesday? Like, I have nothing to do.
Okay, so then, like, a lot of people say when you get out of high school, when you get out of uni, you lose those friends. So would you say that?
You don't lose the friends. If you keep in contact with them, like if we like chill every weekend, I mean, you never lose each other.
So do you have friends from high school?
Yeah,
still?
yeah, I still do to this day. Yeah.
Okay.
We're grade 9, yeah.
So those of you who are in high school, do you guys find that it's harder to make new friends or easier to make new friends compared to like middle school or last year, even if you're going to senior grades?
I mean, like, it depends. If you're in grade 9, it's easier to make new friends because everyone's new. And as it progresses, it's not, because everyone has their own, like, group already. So it's not.
Yeah, with the kind of clique things. Like,
Yeah,
you call them,
yeah.
like, squads or cliques or whatever, but, like, do you think that it's harder to then make friends outside of your... Because what I have is, like, if you make friends outside of it...
It just gets weird, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of acts like it's, like, they're the only friend. Like, if you're in a group... and you make friends outside the group, they kind of see it as like, well, you're not our friend anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like when you're already in like a clique, I guess, it's harder to make new friends outside of that.
Does anyone else relate to that? Want to talk about that? No. You were nodding your head, so like when it... Just speak, we'll blur your face. Okay, just what do you feel? Talk to me.
Blur my face?
Just talk to me.
Am I too ugly?
Are you going, you're in grade 9, right?
Yeah.
So how is that like coming in, making friends, and then you kind of get in this clique?
Don't you dare that.
You really want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
So I have a group of friends that I hang out with in lunch, but then I have a group of friends that I hang out with in my periods, because one of my friends is in my period 1 and 2 class, and then she wants me to have lunch with her. And then they're like, Sumbo, do you want to have lunch with us or do you want to have lunch with her? And then she doesn't want to hang out with those friends. So it's like really hard. Yeah. What am I supposed to
No,
say?
that makes sense. That makes sense. No.
Yeah.
So is that like you kind of feel like you have different friends for different times?
Yeah.
And like you don't know how to mix them?
Yeah.
You know what I found a lot of times is like you have friends, like I have friends from summer school, I have friends like family friends, and I have friends from school, and like the thought of mixing them just sounds like...
It's weird, yeah.
It's weird. It's gonna be like...
I can imagine like you meeting any of my school friends.
Yeah, because
it's weird.
Yeah, and it's just... It kind of puts like a pressure on you that you have to be like a little bit... It's not like I'm saying that you have different faces, but like with one
You're
friend group-
different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're different with different people.
So how like with your friends, what do you mean?
I guess like, I mean, with you guys, I've known you guys for a long time, so I feel like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, with other family friends, I don't talk to them outside of like that gathering. You know what I mean? At school, I talk to them outside of school. So it's just, I'm more reserved and quieter in front of family friends, and then more open about her.
Yeah, and it makes sense too, kind of sometimes, but like, does that kind of change how you feel as a person? Like, does that ever put a stress on you? Like, I'm this way with this group and that way with another. It kind of stresses you how to act in different. Does anyone feel like that or want to talk about that?
I mean, if one group is Muslim and the other's not, then it's like you act different towards them, and then you act different towards the others. Because like with that one, you're like, you make like jokes that are like Muslimish, and then you're like, oh, that's haram. And then with this one, it's like, they're like, what's haram? And you're like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Did anyone else want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess it also depends on how close you are, because like you might make different jokes, or you might behave differently with somebody you're much closer with than compared to somebody you met like last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense, definitely. Going back on the Muslim thing you talked about, does anyone here, like, you kind of have a primarily Muslim friend group and then like another friend group that's like more diverse, maybe like school and family, like that? Or is...
Yeah.
So does anyone want to talk about that?
I mean, I'm in university now, but I noticed that from high school forward, I always did have like a more Muslim friend group than anything. And I think that's mainly because like we have like similar interests, we have things in common, so we kind of gravitated towards each other.
Okay, but then at the same time, there are like friends who are not Muslim, and you also feel this kind
Yeah.
of thing, and it just changes as you grow. So we talked about high school. So people in university, or maybe you've graduated already, how do you feel like friend groups kind of apply to you? And do they apply differently, or are they kind of the same?
Well, it kind of depends. Like, the friends that I hang out with these days were made in university, not high school, because the high school friends I had, they're doing their other things now. They're busy with their own lives. Even though I do talk to them sometimes, I don't like share the same connection I used to. I used to back when I was in high school. With work, at least, like the friends I made at work, they're like very narrow in terms of like what we talk about and like what things we share with each other.
Like it's like work related?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
So that kind of like, so you have your friends from university, and then you have your friends from
Yeah.
work. So then the work kind of stays in work. So
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
similar.
Doesn't really cross.
Okay, so going on that, do you guys feel like, you talked about you have a friend in class, do you feel like there are some friends, like, that you're only friends in school, and then when you leave, you're not friends after that? Like, you're friends, if you see each other, you'll say hi, hello, but you don't really connect to them? Does anyone feel that? Anyone want to talk about it? You want to talk about it?
You guys are talking.
How are your school friends different than the friends you have outside of school?
So one thing is that I have friends outside of school and friends that are in school. But then even inside university, there are different groups of friends. Like you said, there are friends that I meet once a week or twice a week in class that I just say hi and ask for notes. And then
Wow.
the other friends that I kind of bonded with, clicked with, and we hang out on the daily. And then family friends are also kind of in that group, but we meet less regularly, except for like a certain few.
Okay, let's talk about family friends. I have like maybe
Well.
2 family friends, literally, that I'm close with. Other than all my other family friends, maybe I'll talk to them once or twice. I'm just thinking, not sending anyone in my okay. No, I'll talk to maybe 2 family friends. After that, it's just like you meet at the family friendship, and then like, that's it. So do you guys feel like sometimes these family friends, it's almost harder to make it a constant thing? Like kind of, yeah, outside. So do you want to talk?
Because there's like people that I know that I'm family friends with, and our timings never match. Like it's like either we're always busy or they're always busy, and never. That's what it is. We can never make a plan until like. Yeah. That's an extreme shade.
And sometimes it's like the only thing you have in common with them is that your parents know each other. That's it. Some family friends are like,
Oh, okay.
No, you're just there.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
like with family friends, like do you find it harder to take the friendship that's like family friends, like you guys known each other, or like do you find it like it's kind of difficult to kind of keep it consistent and talking because you meet like randomly?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Do you guys not have family friends?
I have family friends that I'm really close to, but it's like they all go to the same school and I go to a different school. And it's hard to keep it constant, but when I meet them, it still feels the same, like we still go to the same school. But I guess that's not for everyone, and I act differently with them than I do with my normal friends, because it's just, I guess I trust them more, in a way.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. There is that trust factor in family friends. You know that you've known each other since you were kids, or maybe you don't know each other that long.
It's not even that. It's just family friends usually like they don't go to the same school as you, this and that, so you can trust them with stuff because they don't know the people you're talking about.
Yes.
They don't know like who you're talking about. They don't know what it is. So it's easier to talk to them than someone at school.
Okay, so then let's go on that talking in school. You brought up talking in school. Oh no. Do you guys sometimes feel that friends you have in school or in work or in anywhere you are, usually where you spend the majority of your time, do you find it difficult to kind of talk to them and get, especially problems you're having around them, do you find that more difficult to kind of express yourself opposed to people who are like disconnected from the problem? What?
You're gonna
I
rephrase
get the
that.
question.
Okay, people in the school. If you're
Yes.
having a problem in school or in work or that, do you find it more difficult to talk to those people who are in the school with you? like your friend group.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult to talk to them with problems?
Yeah, because one of them can expose you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't talk to my school friends about personal stuff ever.
Mm-hmm. Why would you feel that?
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know. I just don't trust them. I've been friends with them for like 3-4 years, but I still don't trust them.
snakes.
I was gonna say that, but I can't say that. Yeah, so like I don't trust them.
Okay, why
And like people switch up on you fast.
Because.
Do you find, like, I find that too. Some friends I have, they're like, not the best.
Because some people at school, they have an ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's not, like when you're family friends with someone, it's like usually it's for a long time. They don't have an ulterior motive. They've known you for a long time. They're not getting anything out of it, so it's not.
Plus, you can't really tell much about a person who you see for like 1 hour. a week.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything to kind of like wrap that up before we take a quick break?
Someone say food?
I guess it's just like the difference between family friends or friends you've known for a long time and school friends is, like I said, you don't see them as often. And you haven't met them. In the case of family friends, it's like you've known them since you were younger, so you're like, okay, we've kind of grown up together even though we didn't meet like every single day of our lives. Whereas school friends, you met them in like 1 year. And even if you all went together through the grades, it's like you guys just kind of went to the school and talked there, and then not outside of school. So
Okay.
it's a bit different, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break, and then after this, we're gonna talk more about peer pressure and how that's. So we're back from our break to talk about peer pressure that students might feel in school. So earlier we were talking about how there are cliques, family, friends, and how you sometimes act different or feel different with different, and there's different trust levels. So when it comes to peer pressure, is there anything you guys like feel strongly about, or there's something about peer pressure you see in your everyday life?
I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily people saying, come on, do it, but like sometimes if people in a friend group that you're in do something, then you might be compelled to do it because you just don't want to go against the group.
Okay, like, can you elaborate?
Okay, let's say people are all skipping class, right? So then you'll be like, okay, if everyone else is skipping, it shouldn't matter if I do as well. So then you might end up doing that.
Okay, so does like anyone else feel like if your friend group's doing something, like not necessarily bad even, that you kind of want to do it too? No. Yeah. You
making
can talk.
making a plan that I agreed to earlier, but then I don't want to go after, and like they're still telling me to go, and I can't say no, and you have to go still. That's me.
Are you in a hostage situation?
If my friends are going to McDonald's and they're like, come on, someone will come, it's gonna be fun, and then my mom's like on the phone, she's like, no. and then I'm like, why, mom? And she's like, no, because you can get hurt. And then all my friends go,
I don't even get her.
But is that really peer?
yeah, it is, because then they're like, someone will come, your mom's not gonna know. And then I know my mom's gonna know, for sure. She could be in the parking lot.
You guys feel like there's like kind of a pressure to dress like
Yes.
nicely? Yes. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
No.
One thing is that nowadays, if you look at today's fashion, it's a lot less modest. Mainstream fashion is sometimes more crop tops, for example, is becoming more popular. So you see more people wearing those kinds of clothes, which makes it difficult because you want to fit in with your friends, but then at the same time you don't want to, you know, dress immodestly sometimes, if you're
Yeah.
a hijabi, especially in my case.
So do you feel like people judge you, or they kind of like, not judge, I wouldn't say judge, like think you're a bad person or anything? Do you feel like people kind of like mention it a lot that you don't wear the same things, or?
Not necessarily, but if you look at people, they notice when things are different from what they're used to, right? So if you dress differently, people might be like, okay, why is she doing that? So they might be curious about that. And sometimes people don't feel like they want other people looking into that. They might feel self-conscious because they don't look like everybody else in terms of fashion.
So a lot of times, like, I would say that dressing nice kind of looks like dressing the same. A lot of people wear the same brands, the same thing. So if you are not included in that brand, so you kind of feel like you're kind of pressured to get that, like everyone in your friend group has it, and then they kind of say, just get it, just get it. It might be out of your price range, or it might be like something you don't like to wear, but do you feel like clothes is just really a simple thing? It goes much more, but like, do you feel like sometimes even clothes, it can be like really pressured? Yeah.
So at my school we have Civvies Day, which is one day where you get to wear whatever you want. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, and then I wore something very plain, and then I walk into school and everyone's wearing like next level top brand stuff.
Everyone
And,
dresses
like,
up.
Yeah, and everyone's wearing like crop tops, so it's like an unspoken word that you better look nice or else nobody's gonna like. It's just you gotta look nice and you gotta look expensive. And then there's me in my H&M hoodie. I'm like, what's up, guys? And then my friends wearing like Champions and stuff.
Yeah, from this side, do you guys have anything else to say? Because you're like, is it different? Do you feel like it's kind of different being out of school, or does everyone really care as much anymore?
They don't care anymore. You can wear whatever you want and work, and no one will care. It's your own. You do your own thing and make your own money. That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Don't look at me anymore. Can you please? Yeah. Okay. Done.
Okay, so there's clothes. We talked about clothes. Is there anything else you feel like kind of pressures you, like you're pressured to be this kind of way by your friends, maybe?
Yo, Ibrahim, can you turn your music off?
Buddy.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear that.
You can listen to it after. Sit down.
Is there anything you guys want to just say really quickly how you feel about balancing yourself and your friends? Do you kind of find it troublesome to be yourself and then also kind of fit in with your friends? Does anyone want to talk about that really quick?
In the words of Talha, nobody really cares. He told me that. He's like, nobody really cares, okay, Simba?
Okay, so nobody really cares. So
Yeah, nobody really cares.
So you don't want to impress anyone?
Yeah. Because in the end, nobody really cares. No one's going to look at you because they don't care.
Everybody looks at
That's deep.
Best life.
Yeah, Talha told me that.
Everyone kind of worries about their own stuff, and I feel like if you look at how you think, right, it's like you're too much in your head to actually notice what other people are doing, and then you have to realize that other people are doing the same thing.
I
Like,
think in high
they're too
school,
much in their head.
you care too much about like what people are thinking, and then if you get like older, you start like nobody was looking at me, and then you start living your best life. So
I care
yeah,
about my
guys.
grades.
Okay, I don't want pizza. I had pizza this
You
morning.
guys already ate pizza,
Buddy.
guys.
You want to... Do you feel like you have to dress a certain way or talk a certain way to have people like you?
Oh, this guy definitely does.
So going off what we talked about today, I guess we were talking about how different friend groups bring out different aspects of you, and about how peer pressure is like there even if it's not about a negative thing in your friend group, and then also about how you're sometimes too much in your head and you worry about what people think and you don't think about the fact that other people are also in their head, so they don't care about you, they're just worrying about themselves. So that's basically what we were discussing, and I thought that was really good because it is something that needs to be discussed, especially at the high school level.
Okay, so thank you all for contributing to the conversation today. This has been really fun. It's been nice. So tune into our next...
Come on, you're just making more footage for yourself to edit.
Okay, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next month. Bye.